This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by the Daily Herald.
We are here at Naperville Central with head coach Salentine of the Naperville Central boys water polo team. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So we're going to start off with last year, obviously, an unbelievable year for this water polo team, going undefeated, winning the state title. Kind of just take me what went through your head when it was all done.
Well, all season long, I kept saying we have the potential to be special, whether it was a state champion or not. It was certainly going to be a special season with the kids that we had, the 7 seniors that graduated, a very talented goalie that started for us as a freshman. We went through, we got the Fenwick tournament, first time we ever won that in the 12 or 15 years we've been going to that. A couple other big milestones along the way, and the big win at sectionals over North, getting to the state tournament, quality games against York, St. Ignatius, and then playing Stevenson for the title. I think it was the third time we played them during the season, and every game seemed to get a little bit closer. First game was 9-5 we won, and then it might have been like an 8-5. I mean, every game just got closer. So undefeated was the cherry on top of everything else.
How tough is it to beat the same team multiple times like that?
It is incredibly tough, and we see Naperville North several times a season. We see Stevenson, we see Fenwick, we see Lions, we see all the high-ranking schools at various tournaments. You've got to be very good, and you have to have a little bit of luck.
Yeah. Was undefeated something that was on your mind as a coach at all throughout the year?
No, never. And when I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year, never even thought about it. I thought we could, start off pretty strong. I didn't know what the Fenwick tournament would bring. I didn't know what the Stevenson tournament would bring at the end of the year. And we just kept finding ways to win, and that was special.
In pretty much all sports, except for football, where there's not as many games as there are in basketball, baseball, like water polo, like this, coaches might say that they want their team to lose so they don't feel that pressure of undefeated as they get late in the year. Was that anything that you were thinking about? I know you don't want them to lose, but so there's not that pressure.
You don't want them to lose. We got to a point where, I would never admit it publicly, but I was kind of cheering inside. I'm like, okay, let's keep it going. Yeah. Let's keep it going and see what we can do. So you never want a loss, but...
Yeah, obviously a lot of talent. You won a state championship. It was undefeated. At what point in the year was it championship or bust in your mind?
I think it was after the big Stevenson Varsity Classic, because Stevenson was there, Lions, Fenwick, so a lot of quality competition, and once we won that, I had a glimmer of hope. I just kept waiting for something to happen, and we just kept finding ways to win.
And you lose a great group of seniors and a very talented, and I'm assuming good leadership if you're that good of a team. What are you going to miss most about them?
Oh, I really enjoyed all of those guys just as individuals. They were great. They were there for the team first. It wasn't about me, I. They wanted the team to win. So they were just as excited every day in practice as we were going on and doing well, and they encouraging each other, not getting down. So they were just great guys.
Now, looking ahead to this season now coming up, we're about to start this tournament this weekend. Has there been any different vibe that you noticed as a coach that you haven't noticed in the past coming off that season?
Well, every season is a little bit different. So this year, 9 or 10 days in, whatever we are, the vibe is kind of a nervous anticipation. We have some very talented players coming back. They were the practice dummies. I hate to use that term, but they were there every day in practice, getting beat up by a Nick and a Kyle and a Eric Stablin.
It makes them better.
It makes them better. So now it's their turn to step up and shine. So nervous anticipation. We're kind of tired of beating each other up in practice. So we're looking forward to tomorrow night and this weekend see what we can do.
Seeing some new faces instead of your own.
Exactly.
Do you set goals for the team at the beginning of the year, or does it kind of go throughout the year that you expect more from them?
Kind of a little bit of both. I mean, we talk about not just wins and losses as goals, but being good citizens, being good people, trying to have fun, and then hopefully, success wins, comes from being good people and going from there. Haven't really sat down and had a classroom session with them yet. Haven't talked about team goals this year. We did a little bit of it last year. Every year is a little different. A couple of years ago, we needed to really work on daily and weekly goals, and I think we're a little bit past that with this group of guys.
Now, you've been here for a long time, 25 years. This is your 25th year this year.
This is my 25th year.
So you know a lot about what it takes to be good and the separation between good and great. What makes a water polo team great at this level to win a state championship separates them from the good teams?
A little bit of luck certainly helps, and just hard work and practice. And everybody says that, but it's when these kids start playing for their summer subdivision team as a 10 and under, or then they go to play for the polo club in town, the West Suburban Water Polo Club in the summer. The great teams do things extra. They don't just swim on the swim team and then show up to play water polo. They're playing water polo more than just 3 months a year. They're playing in the summertime. They're playing in the fall. That's it. So just like a great cross-country runner can't just show up August 10th and start running, and you got to put the mileage behind you all year round, and that's what I think that's what it takes.
Well, like you said, all year round, when they officially become yours, when you're allowed to put them through your practices, what do you put them through to make sure that they're physically ready for the season?
We spend the first month of the season just doing a lot of conditioning in the morning swims. We lift 2 mornings a week. We swim 2 mornings a week. It used to be 3,000 yards or 1 hour, whatever comes first. The last couple of years, now it's 4,000 yards or 1 hour. We just work on conditioning, and then in the afternoons we work on X's and O's and skills and drills, and then after the first month of the season, we can dial back some of the conditioning a little bit and focus a little bit more on tactics, and that brings us through the end of the season and go from there.
Can you talk a little bit about how you started this water polo program here?
In the spring or January, February 1993, I had 2 swimmers. I was the assistant swim coach at the time. 2 swimmers came up to me and said, "Hey, can you coach our water polo team?" The pool was brand new in October of '92. They had been playing in a water polo team over at Naperville North. I think it was combined Naperville Central, Naperville North. They asked me. I said, "I don't know anything about water polo," and they didn't seem too concerned. They needed somebody that would be here, and I was a soccer player and I was a swimmer, and I kind of approached it as a soccer game in the water, and just spread out, pass the ball, somebody will shoot. And I originally started it to say, oh, this is great, I can keep these swimmers in the water an extra 3 months before the summer swim season. And I now no longer coach swimming. And just focus on water polo. And
so not playing it in your past, how long do you think it took you to really kind of master the game?
I don't know if I've still mastered the game. No, that's fine.
35-0 in a state title, I think.
Well,
close to it.
I would say the first 15 years, there was a lot of fumbling around.
Okay.
And the last 10, now that I get kids in the water as freshmen that have played 2 or 3 summers, so we don't have to teach them how to catch and throw and how to tread water. They have a basic understanding of the game. So I would ask any coach I played after the game, hey, you got any tips, any advice? What do you think of this? What should I work on? And I've got a whole drawer full of notes and video from back in the day, and go from,
The last thing I want to ask you is, if you were a player for yourself, how would you define yourself as a coach?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I hope I make the game fun and enjoyable for them, whether or not we win or lose, because we had a stretch a few years ago where we couldn't get out of the sectional. I think most kids like my sense of humor. I know that a little sarcasm doesn't work for everybody, but I think most kids appreciate my sense of humor and hope they have fun.
Well, talking to Matt, it didn't seem like it was all wins and losses. He pretty much specified that that's not what you just concentrate on, and that probably takes a lot of pressure off them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Kids have enough pressure on them these days. You know, getting good grades, getting into a good college, everything else about their social life. You know, we want this to be fun, and inside I still want to win.
Yeah.
But it's not the most important thing.
Well, last year you didn't lose it all. Hopefully you have another great year this upcoming year. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations last year. Good luck on this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.